Well, guys, starting a side hustle completely changed my life, but I'm so glad. I am literally so glad that I did this first. I literally started a side hustle that pays me over $25,000 per month with no money out of pocket, without any loans or grants. And a lot of people were telling me, oh, you can't start a business without, it takes money to make money. I don't know how many of you guys have ever heard that phrase, but that's what I was always told. And it was actually something that I always wanted to do, but I never really had the courage to kind of go all in and pursue it. And, but after a lot of research, within several clicks, I was basically in business. Well, kind of. So I got some questions for you guys. Are you broke? Because I was. Like, are you maybe living paycheck to paycheck? Do you want to become rich? Are you thinking that, starting a side hustle might actually fix your money problems? Are you finding yourself in a situation where maybe you have a job, but the job doesn't quite pay enough so that you can actually live the life that you want to live? So maybe you think a side hustle is the way to go. If this sounds like your situation, drop me a quick comment down below and let me know why you want to start a side hustle and which side hustle you might be thinking about starting. I'd love to hear from you guys on that one. And please, whenever I make these videos, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying to share my story with anybody who's like me, and how I was in my situation before I kind of got going, if that makes sense. So, please don't be ashamed if you find yourself in any one of these scenarios that I mentioned, because again, this was me several years ago before I actually started figuring things out, networking, researching, and learning and actually figuring out how to get out of the rat race, because, it was literally what changed my life. And I'm so grateful for that. And I just want to help more people to achieve however they define financial freedom, right? And, before I actually figured out how to get out of the rat race and actually began applying these 3 principles that I'm about to share with you guys in this video, it's literally made all the difference in my life, in my net worth, and our financial freedom for me and for my family. And also, don't forget to drop a quick like for the video and consider subscribing to the channel if you guys like content like this. So what do you guys think is the most important thing that is required to get rich? Just drop me a quick comment down below. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking on that one. Now, you might be thinking, about some of these higher paying side hustle jobs, like maybe being a freelancer, because you can earn typically anywhere between $20 and $100 an hour, depending upon your experience and what niche you happen to be in. Maybe even a copywriter, leveraging platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, perhaps, Google Docs and Grammarly. Maybe you want to start an e-commerce store. And, e-commerce stores can make a lot of money, but some don't. But I know several people who actually have e-commerce stores that range anywhere from a few hundred to a few or several thousands, tens of thousands of dollars per month. So any of these are great side hustle ideas. But the thing is a lot of people face, not everybody, but a lot of people face financial instability. And this is like due to low income, maybe it's high expenses. Maybe your job is insecure. Maybe you have job insecurity. I know for me, I worked in an industry for many, many years, and I always worried about losing my job. What if they cut my hours? Yada, yada, yada. A side hustle can potentially provide an additional income source to help cover bills, to help you to pay off debt faster, and even save and invest for the future. Another issue I was dealing with was debt, credit card debt, multiple car payments. Those were the main issues I dealt with, and I actually dealt with these before actually buying my first home to live in. So I didn't really have a mortgage to deal with initially, but a lot of people do. Maybe it's student loans, maybe it's medical expenses, and these different things can create significant financial stress. And so a lot of people think that a side hustle could actually help to accelerate the debt repayment and improve overall financial health, which technically is true to some extent. But there's some things that I learned that I want to share with you guys before putting forth the effort to start a side hustle. And the funny thing is I discovered this when I was a lot younger, and some of my friends who made a lot more money than me would ask me to borrow money. And I always wondered, like, how is it that some of these people who make so much more than me would be able to outspend their income and want to borrow money from me? Let's just say I make $15 an hour. My friend makes 30. So he literally makes double my income, and yet he was asking to borrow money from me. I thought that was really weird. And, one of the biggest misconceptions about increasing your income that I want to talk to you guys about, before you spin your wheels, you'll go way faster. You will make way more progress and traction by just taking heed to some of this information. This is not financial advice. This is just me sharing my own personal experiences with you guys, because I think somebody out here could benefit from this information. Rushing into a side hustle without proper planning could actually lead to financial instability and additional stress. However, properly planning before starting a side hustle can lead to much greater outcomes. Can you imagine making more money and literally just being in the same situation? Now, of course, most people will probably think, oh no, if I made more money, I wouldn't have these problems. Not necessarily true. A lot of people think that more income by itself is actually going to solve financial problems. But if you're neglecting the underlying financial issues that cause these problems, then you could literally find yourself in the same situation, before you begin increasing your income. So I thoroughly recommend analyzing your financial situation, getting organized, right? Like, a lack of financial organization and discipline can lead to overspending, debt accumulation, going further into credit card debts, and also not tracking your expenses. I remember one day I created a spreadsheet because I thankfully encountered some people who I believe were fairly wealthy, and they ended up using this term called net worth. And I kept hearing this word net worth. And I was like, what does that mean? So I ended up going home and I Googled it. I later found out what it meant. And so I ended up figuring out how to calculate my net worth. In order to do that, I needed a spreadsheet, and I needed to get organized to figure out what was my total income per month. No. I needed to know what were my total assets and my total debts. So anyway, that allowed me to track it. And there's a lot of power in doing that. Let me tell you, right? Also, creating a budget. This definitely promotes financial organization, responsible spending, and a very clear understanding of your income and your expenses. And so without a budget, a lot of people end up not really understanding their own financial situation, and it makes it way more challenging to be able to prioritize spending and saving. When you can see your financial situation on paper, it makes it real clear what's a priority, what's not, and what you can eliminate, and different areas of attack that need more attention now compared to others. Another thing that I found very, very important is building an emergency fund. Don't sleep on this, guys. It's not fancy. You're not going to take this money and stick it in the stock market and invest in SCHD and VOO and any of your favorite S&P 500 stocks or index funds. No. This is a very not so glamorous amount of money that you're going to set aside to protect yourself and your family from unexpected expenses. If you don't have this emergency fund, you'll be like most people, finding themselves needing to depend on credit cards or maybe payday lenders. Not the way to go. Not the way to go. So, establishing an emergency fund, this definitely builds some financial peace of mind, because the unexpected will happen, especially when you're not ready. So that is definitely a key, and something that I would definitely want to build before starting a side hustle, before starting a business. And I'm totally encouraging starting businesses and side hustles. But these things are what I would do before I actually started actively working to increase my income, leveraging small businesses, home-based businesses, side hustles, and whatnot. Also, what's your end game? What are you doing this for, right? So without clear goals and a very clear vision of what you're trying to achieve, you may find yourself, with a lack of direction, a lack of motivation. I remember, one of the reasons why I was neglecting starting my side hustle was I didn't really have a clear reason why I was doing it. Yeah, I wanted to make more money. Yeah, I wanted to get out of debt. Yes, I don't know if I wanted to be rich, but I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. But these are very, what's the word? These are very arbitrary statements. Like, what is rich? If you ask 100 people what rich is, they're going to get 100 different answers. If you said, I want to be good with money, what does that really mean? Okay, you want to get out of debt. Why? Like, I think it's very important to make your goals very specific. If you don't have a vision board, you gotta think about making one of those, because I feel like when I built my vision board, this really helped me to make my goals more tangible, if that makes sense. Like, why are you doing this? Do you want to take vacations with your family more often? Do you want to have more free time? If you had more free time, what would you do at that time? Do you like the kind of car you're driving? If there's a particular car you want to drive, what kind of car would that be? What year? What options and features would be in that vehicle? Do you live where you want to live? If you don't, what city is that ideal place located in where you would want to live? What type of house is that? How big is it? What type of materials is that home made out of? Like, visualize what you want out of life. How many trips do you want to take per year? Where would you take those trips? These are the kind of things that I will be identifying and adding to my vision board so that I can be very, very clear on what I'm trying to achieve in my life, right? And this, like, seeing these goals written down and being able to, like, visually see your goals definitely makes goal attainment and direction much more easy, because it keeps you motivated when you know specifically what your goal is versus just some arbitrary statements, right? So setting clear goals and a clear vision definitely provides direction and motivation and purpose when you're building your side hustle, right? And also the absence, like, if you don't have these, like, quantifiable goals and objectives, it really makes it hard to be accountable for your actions. Having these goals really sets, like, measurable progress and checkpoints, right? So I strongly suggest setting your goals, creating a vision board, writing your goals down. Like literally, if you're serious about increasing your income, if you're serious about becoming rich or whatever your financial goal is, write those goals down. Because if you're serious, the least you can do is write them down. And I guarantee when you write them down, something's going to happen in here. Something's going to happen and a light bulb turns on and it starts becoming more real. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys with that. Quantifiable objectives. These are so important, and this is, like, one of the reasons why I'm just a huge proponent of writing your goals down and investing for the future. Like, if you don't have a plan to invest that money, you'll earn more money, but you'll likely find yourself back in the rat race. And you don't have to necessarily invest in the stock market and the S&P 500. You don't have to invest in SCHD. You don't have to invest in JEPI or any of these very, very worthy ETFs. You don't have to do that unless you want to. You can invest in your own business. You can reinvest in your business and potentially have a much greater rate of return. But you need to be investing. If you neglect investing for the future, this could definitely lead to a lot of missed opportunities to build wealth and to put the wealth building process on autopilot, and it can significantly reduce your financial security. So, investing in the future definitely allows individuals to be able to build wealth, to be able to secure their financial future, and to achieve long-term financial goals. Not taking advantage of employer match financial, not taking advantage of your employer match for contributions into your 401k or any of these other tax advantaged accounts. This is a significant no-no. So if you have a 401k and they're matching, I cannot imagine any reason why I would not want to collect on that free money. So if you're not doing that, that is something that I would strongly consider looking into. It's pretty much free money. So one of the things that I did want to share with you guys is I finally gained the courage to start a YouTube channel. And having a YouTube channel, building a YouTube channel, it was one of the hardest things initially, but it became one of the most rewarding things. And now that I've done it, I've actually helped several people build their own channels. And I'm getting more and more positive feedback from these individuals. And if you are actually interested in starting or building your own YouTube channel, drop me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm actually going to be sharing some free information, some free videos with you on how you can get started starting your own YouTube channel. And I would love to share that information with you guys. So if you're interested in that, definitely hit me up in the comment section down below. If you guys are new to the channel, if you made it this far, drop a like for the video. Also consider subscribing if you like content like this. If you don't subscribe. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys found value in this video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Be safe.